50% of your annual revenue has the potential to come from the last few months of the year. Not because you're salesy or pushy, but because the holidays are a built-in gift-giving, money-spending time when people are looking for solutions. But here's the thing. Most photographers are so busy scrambling for mini sessions or doing digital file packages that they completely miss the real opportunities. The holidays shouldn't just be your busiest season. They should be your most profitable season. And you should still have time to enjoy the season with your own family. I'm Sarah Petty, founder of Photography Business Institute. I help portrait photographers build profitable family-first businesses. Look, I went from being in tears on Christmas for the first few years of being in business to making some key changes in my business that got me named one of the most profitable by the Professional Photographers of America within 5 years of opening my first studio. Today, I'm breaking down 5 premium offerings that always crush during the holiday season. And if you're doing them, you're probably doing them incorrectly. And my friend, if you implement even one of these with intention, you'll generate serious revenue in the fourth quarter while actually being present with the people you love during this oh so special time of year. Let's dive in. Strategy number 1 is extended family sessions. And listen, before you click away right now, I want you to listen to this. I used to hate doing large groups. There are so many personalities trying to find the right place to pose this many people, feeling like I was herding cats to get the orders in, until I realized that my average order for the extended family sessions I was doing that were even a hot mess were double or triple my normal sessions. So once I worked out the kinks and created a system, I know that every single extended family order will be fantastic. Does that get you excited to hear what I have to say? Because I hope so. An extended family session is when multiple generations typically come together. So you might have grandparents and then their adult children, and then they have grandchildren, and they all come together to create a wholesome family portrait experience while everyone's in town for the holidays. Here's what got me started with this. I remember running into a client the week after Christmas after Christmas shopping. We gave each other a hug and asked how Christmas was, and she started talking and she said her son was home for the first time and I watched her talk and she stopped and her face turned a little white and she said, "Sarah, why didn't we do a portrait while all of my kids were home?" And I felt personally responsible, like I had let my client down. Now I take it as my moral obligation to make sure that I'm at least floating this idea by everyone. Whether they use me or not, or whether they do it or not, it doesn't matter, but I never want that to happen again. Think about what families are dealing with during the holidays. Maybe some drama, but you've got adult kids flying in from across the country. Maybe it's the first time everyone's been together in years. We've got aging grandparents sometimes, and little kids are growing up so fast. They're focusing on just survival. And in that moment, when everyone's together, there's this ability for us to celebrate this family, to freeze time and preserve what this family looks like right now. But here's what happens. The moment passes, everyone goes home, and by January, that window is gone forever. So my friend, when you give families this gift, this intentional, beautiful documentation of their family legacy, my gosh, what a gift. They feel relief. They feel grateful. They feel like somebody finally helped them do the thing they've been meaning to do, but never got it all figured out. They are thrilled when you take charge of the process. And then when they receive their large family portrait with all of these people they love, it becomes an emotional centerpiece of their home. Their story is worth preserving, and you and I both know it. We just have to remind them. Okay, but here's where this gets really exciting. It's not just one session with one buyer. You have multiple buyers for every single extended family session. So you've got the matriarch or patriarch whoever's possibly hosting everyone for the holidays. They might be the one commissioning the session in the main group portrait, or it may be one of the siblings. But after the session, you have the opportunity to create artwork for, of course, the grandparents who want portraits of themselves, maybe with their kids, maybe with them and the grandkids, maybe each family unit with them. Who knows? You've got each adult child and their family, and they may or may not all want portraits taken, but hey, they're there. And then we've got maybe siblings together, cousins together, each child with grandma and grandpa. Think about it. There are a lot of combinations here. And what's cool is the large family group portrait needs to be large because there are so many people in it. Then you're creating albums or additional wall art with different combinations. Wouldn't you love a book from your childhood with all of your cousins and your grandparents and your aunts and uncles and everybody? I would love that. And I get that everyone's not going to order, but my goal and what I teach my students, not everyone will order, of course. And that's part of your job as the photographer, to identify ahead of time who wants what, so you know what to photograph, because you don't need to spend extra time if a family is like, oh, we just did all of this at my church. So they'll be in the group photo and the cousin photo, and they'll be a part of it, but you're not going to specifically focus on their family because they already have that. And that's fine. But here's the other thing that's so great about extended family sessions. And this is what I teach my students how to do. The goal is to generate enough cash flow from these extended family sessions to pay your bills, especially if you're photographing it the week after Christmas. You can spend January even Zooming with families out of town to get their order placed. So you've got cash flow coming in. So cool. All right, let's talk about how we book these right now. Let's start looking at everyone in your network. Who has adult children? Who might have extended family coming to town for Thanksgiving or Christmas? You can even put a post on social media or in a big Facebook group in your community. But listen, if you make a post that says, hey, who's got extended family coming to town? I'm so excited. What are your family traditions? And as people pipe in, you private message them with the idea. Never post your sales message in a public group or you're gonna get attacked. I don't know why, it just happens. Again, throw them the idea. Be committed to throwing them the idea, but not attached to whether they hire you or not. If you encourage someone to go get that created or do it themselves, there are people in every family that may not be there the next year, and you're doing a service to everyone. And you're gonna get your fair share of clients as you get good at this. So keep learning these skills, my friend. Here's the thing. You should be able to book 1 or 2 out of every 10 people you talk to. Even if you aren't great at knowing how to have these conversations, just get started. I try to book up that Friday after Thanksgiving for those of you in the US, and then the week around Christmas. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, it's a holiday and people are gathering with their families and they're looking for an experience. They're looking for something to do. So why not create an experience for them? Okay, strategy number 2, seasonal artwork. All right, this one might surprise you because it's not what most photographers think of when they hear holiday sessions. Most photographers immediately think mini sessions, Christmas card photos, quick and easy digital files. This is not that. Okay, complete opposite. Imagine your client has a large piece of custom artwork hanging in their home year-round. Maybe it's a beautiful portrait of their kids above the fireplace or a picture of tulips. It doesn't matter. But imagine creating a second piece of artwork that same size in that same prominent location, but this one is going to go up specifically for the holidays. It only comes out when they're decorating for Christmas and then goes back to the basement or wherever after Christmas. So the music is on. They're putting up the tree, pulling out their favorite decorations, and they unveil this stunning heirloom holiday artwork. Listen, this is about creating a tradition, a ritual, a moment that signals the holidays have arrived when that piece of art gets hung. Maybe it's their kids with Santa. That's fine. You got 5 little kids under 5. Maybe it's everyone in red and green matching jammies. Maybe it's less Christmassy specifically, but it's the whole family bundled in winter coats and hats outside in the snow that's got a holiday flavor to it, but it's a little more subtle. Here's what my clients who do this tell me. They tell me that every year when they bring out that holiday artwork, and I do it too, they're flooded with emotion. They see their babies from years past. They want to remember that magical season of life. And of course, they attach that to you and your brand. Listen, there's something magical about Christmas-specific artwork that nobody thinks about until they experience it. The hanging of the holiday art becomes the signal that the holidays have arrived. So every year, seeing those little humans from their past warms everyone up like the best eggnog, my friend. The artwork becomes part of how they celebrate. The kids grow up expecting it, and parents get to live the sweetness of those babies who aren't so sweet anymore. Seasonal artwork is for your existing clients who already have artwork in their homes. They understand the value of big, and they've already invested in portraits with you. You're simply expanding their collection with something seasonal and special. The key is positioning this as an addition to what they already have. A way to make their home more magical during the holidays. And of course, you can do this for new clients too. You've just got to paint the picture for them and get them excited for that. But here's how to book these, okay? First thing I would do is look at your client list. Who has young kids? Who loves decorating for Christmas? Who did you photograph their kids as newborn babies, but they haven't been back lately and they still have little kids? Maybe they just announced on Facebook that baby number 3 is here and that is the last one. What a great time for this special place of legacy artwork. Because I don't see this as something you do every year. This is something really special that they do one time and they use every year. So I would reach out now and I would say, hey, I have an idea. I think you're going to love it. What if we created a holiday specific piece of artwork that you bring out every year when you decorate? We can make it the same size as something you currently hang in your house, but it specifically comes out just for Christmas. Then you describe what you envision for their family, make it personal, make it irresistible, and it's already sold. You just have to create it. Okay, strategy number 3, gifts. Here's what I want you to understand about gifts. People are already spending money on gifts during the holidays. There's already a budget. There's already shopping. They're already stressing about finding the right thing for grandma and grandpa, their spouse or partner, their kids. And here's the question they're asking themselves. What gift actually matters? What gift will they remember? What gift solves a real problem or fulfills a real need? Here's where you come in. You are positioning portrait sessions and custom artwork as the premium gift solution for the people who are the hardest to buy for. Clients love this because it solves their gift giving problem in a way that actually creates lasting value and meaning. Let me give you some examples. Do you know someone whose teenager is struggling right now? Maybe they're being bullied at school or they're dealing with self-esteem issues. Spoiler alert, it's pretty much all of them. What if you talk to the parent about doing an empowerment portrait session and a beautiful piece of artwork for Christmas for them to hang in their bedroom? That's absolutely transformational. Every day that beautiful human will wake up and see themselves looking confident, beautiful, powerful. And when you do that, that shows that you have unconditional love. That changes something deep inside them, I'm telling you. Maybe you have somebody you know that has little boys who are obsessed with each other and they're also obsessed with hockey. Imagine a dramatic piece of art of the two of them above their beds, of them wrestling, playing hockey, like focus with their hockey sticks. That is really cool. Maybe you have aging grandparents who have everything. Picture them unwrapping a portrait of their grandchildren on Christmas morning. The tears, the joy, the overwhelming gratitude that someone thought to give this. I know it makes my mama cry. Something they'll hold on to forever. Digital Files doesn't do this, my friend. And for the gift giver, you're making them the hero. They feel relief, confidence, pride. They found the it gift. The recipient feels loved, seen, valued. And it's not just another bathrobe or fuzzy slippers. How many of those things do people need? This is a piece of art that gets better with time. The strategy is something you can sell to literally everyone who knows, who celebrates the holidays and gives gifts. Parents buying for kids, adult children buying for aging parents, spouses for each other, grandparents buying for their children's families. If you just sit down and go through everyone you know and ask yourself, do they have a sister-in-law? Do they have a boss? Who else is in their life that I could reach out to? And remember, they're wondering, I have no idea what to get my parents. My daughter's struggling. My husband's impossible to shop for. Then offer this solution. You know what would be amazing? What if we create this? So cool. And here's the key. You've got to photograph them in early December so you can get the artwork turned around before Christmas. If you're mostly a digital file photographer and you don't have a pro lab that thrills you, you might want to check out the one I use, WHCC.com. White House Custom Color is their name. They turn artwork around in just a few days and they mail it directly to your home. So go to their website and check out their holiday deadline of when you have to order to get it in time for the holidays and then work backwards from there. You're literally making Christmas morning magical. I know I always wake up on Christmas morning thinking of my clients who are giving this gift and the people who are opening it. It just makes me so happy. Hey, listen, speaking of having the right words to say, if starting conversations with strangers feels overwhelming, I've created something that can help. I created a free guide. Really, it's got scripts in there. I call them matchstick conversation starters because you just need one match to create a spark, to get a fire going. So it's got specific questions and conversation templates designed for a more shy photographer. So I will stick that in the description below for you, my friend. Okay, strategy number 4, gift certificates. And listen, gift certificates aren't a new idea. I get it. But here's what most photographers are doing wrong. They just offer gift certificates. Generic, boring, uninspiring. Instead, you need to create the idea of what the gift certificate is for. And here's why clients love this, because it's not just a piece of paper with a gift certificate. It's an experience to look forward to. It's anticipation. It's something to be excited about after all the Christmas chaos settles down. So let me give you examples of how to position this. So you could say, I have an idea for your daughter for Christmas. You could give her this gift certificate, package it in a fun way. But the week after Christmas, I know she's all about horses and you guys go and ride horses now and then. What if we talk to the stable manager and we get the horse out and we do a sunset session for your daughter with her mittens and gloves and her little hat on, riding her horse? And you could add siblings or friends or whatever your creative idea is. But then on Christmas Day, she'll have this experience to look forward to. Or you could tell the grandparents, hey, what if you buy the cousins all matching jammies? And then the week after we do a Christmas photo for you and for all of them when everything's calmed down, but all the cousins are here. Some of you are documentary photographers and you want to get into family portraiture. What a great way to do sort of a slice of life session or a day in the life of cousins doing something fun together. And you do all the combinations and then the grandma buys a book for all of them. I mean, that's a really big order, but grandma's got to spend her money on something. Or maybe you have a swimmer who is super competitive and you're like, hey, you know what? I've always wanted to rent an underwater camera. So let's do an underwater session for your swimmer. How cool would that be? Or we could do a mother-daughter session with grandma, you and your 2 girls. And then we can do one with each of you and your daughters and you and your mama together. I would love that when I was little. Nothing like that exists in my life. So again, the gift giver feels creative and thoughtful, and they're not giving money or just a piece of paper gift card, gee, thanks. They're describing this amazing experience. And of course, they can buy matching hats for everyone for the experience, or something for the swimmer, or something for the horseback rider, cousin jammies, whatever it is, it can become part of the gift that everyone can look forward to. The recipient feels excited and valued because someone thought about them and what they truly love and created something so special for them. Who do you offer this to? Listen, this is perfect for people who want to give a meaningful gift, but the timing isn't right to do the session before Christmas. This is also perfect for giving you cash flow in the first quarter, which is typically the hardest time for photographers to make money. So everyone who's giving a gift certificate, let's get it scheduled and let's do it. How do you book these? You just start asking. If they don't have an idea, you ask questions to them and you create the vision for them. Tell me about your mom. What does she love? She loves spending time with my daughter. Perfect. What if we did a grandmother-granddaughter session in the spring when the flowers are blooming? We could create a beautiful portrait for your granddaughter's room and then for you to have also. Do you see the difference? You're not selling a generic gift certificate. You're selling a specific, compelling vision that's going to be beautiful artwork that lasts forever. And let me tell you what, the more time and effort people invest in the process, the more money they will invest in the artwork. And you might want to write that one down. And strategy number 5, holiday cards. Listen, I get it. Holiday cards are obvious. There will always be a demand for holiday cards. But here's the thing. If you don't handle these correctly during what should be, would be, could be, and will be your busiest season, holiday cards can spin completely out of control and become your worst nightmare. It happened to me. And really, I think that is the biggest reason I was in tears in those early years. I've lived this. I would let my clients control everything. What do they say? The tail wagging the dog. And it was out of control. I was letting them have too many revisions, letting them go home to make decisions. I wasn't putting clear parameters around it and realized that I wasn't serving them or me. Here's the thing I want you to remember, because you might think, oh, I'm not even going to do Christmas cards. But here's the thing. When you create a really great card with a really great image, your client is paying to print it. They are paying to mail it, and your logo's on there. It's basically free marketing. Listen, clients love this too, because it's one less thing they have to stress about during an already hectic season. You might be saying, yeah, but Sarah, they can do it at some website online. Sure, they can. They can also do all of the holiday baking, but why is every restaurant in town booked up with holiday parties? Because people need help. So you handle everything. You make them look good. You make the process easy. I promise you, they will be relieved when you give them their cards and the envelopes and it's off their holiday to-do list. I just think there's something special about opening the mailbox in December and finding a card that helps you connect with your friends. Not just another cheesy generic template with trees on it, but something beautiful. A work of art that captures their family at their best. And listen, I want my cards to get out early in the season, same with my clients, because I put a lot of effort there and I know they're better than everyone else's. So I want them getting first position on the mantle, and it does bring me referrals. Years later, people still talk about a card they got that really moved them. The people who do things with intention, with beauty, with care, or people who just want it done for them, my gosh, when their friends and family receive this beautiful, professionally designed and printed card, it reflects well on them. And they didn't have to spend hours designing it or dealing with online printing companies or all of the things, right? We made it easy for them. So here's kind of the evolution and what I would say to you if you're thinking, gee, Sarah, should I do cards or shouldn't I? When you're building your business and you have some time and you need some cash flow and you need some marketing in the market, just go do them for everyone. I mean, literally, if you made a goal to get 5,000 cards printed and mailed, go hit everyone you up and just get them out there. Because your name, your website are on the back of every card. Hallmark puts their name on the back of every card, so do you. Okay, so that's free marketing. Then, as you start to grow and you get really busy next year, potentially, you'll start attracting higher end clients. Your average orders are going up. And I started telling my clients that I offer holiday cards as a service to my portrait clients. So if you just want holiday cards, I'm not your person, because that's a lot of work to do a session and then the design and everything. What's beautiful about this is your clients who are investing thousands with you to invest in large wall portraits and then to get a beautiful card from you, they're mailing it to their friends and their family who are also likely in your target audience. So every year your business gets better from doing this. Here are a few keys for doing this right and not losing your mind. Number one, simplify the number of choices. Okay, you don't have to offer 47 card designs. Pick a few that you love. Number two, and this one's huge, simplify the approval process. Okay, so what we do is we design it. And when the client comes in for their ordering appointment, I show them one or two mock-ups and I let them make revisions. And I tell them that one round of revisions is included. And then it's make up a number, right? $50 an hour, even $25 an hour. If they have to pay extra, they're not going to make more revisions. Okay. So I have them sign the piece of paper that it's approved. Or I say, I'm going to email it to you tomorrow and I need you to email back with approval, and it's done. Number three, build the design into your pricing. If you're doing cards as an add-on to the portrait session, make sure that you include design time in your prices so that you can have cooler cards. And then number four, set clear deadlines. So in other words, if you want your cards to go out right after Thanksgiving, your session needs to be by this date and your order needs to be placed by this date. Period, no exceptions. When you control the process instead of letting it control you, holiday cards can become, my gosh, such a powerful promotional tool instead of a source of stress. Listen, friend, as you can see, if you start talking to everyone in your network, you have something for everyone. Gifts, artwork, experiences, and remember, you're solving problems for them. They're actively looking for gifts for many people in their lives. And it's our job as a print-based photographer to help them design a holiday season that creates happiness for many, many, many years. Fuzzy slippers or a bathrobe just can't do what we do. Now, here's what stops most photographers from actually implementing these strategies. Many of you, and it might even be you, if you're stuck in the digital file model, competing on price with every other photographer out there. So in my next video, I'm showing you why photographers are ditching digital files and focusing on large wall portraits instead. I'm going to share the exact business model shift that took my students from a few $100 per client, working hours and hours and hours and giving high-res digital files away, to a print-based model that gets them several $1,000 orders. Plus, this approach is completely AI proof. So check out this next video.